Hey friends, so we are going to connect some LEDs and light them using our Arduino. So what we need is our Arduino, we need a breadboard, you're going to need some of these wires, these are called jumper wires, male, right? They're called male jumper wires because they have a pokey out part on each end, resistor, 220 ohm resistor, and some LEDs, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to make this circuit. So we're going to have a 5-volt power supply, plus 5 volts goes into our positive end of our LED, and then it goes out from the negative end of the LED to our resistor. We have a 220 ohm resistor. That's to limit the current so the LED doesn't break. And then the resistor goes back to the negative end or the ground side of the power supply. Okay, we're going to use the Arduino for the power supply. So this is actually plugged in. There's this blue USB cable here. We're going to use this actually for programming and for powering our Arduino. So normally you plug it into a USB port on a computer, but right now I just have it plugged in just to a USB power block because I'm just using it for power. Okay, so here's the idea. Here's what we're going to do. So we're going to connect all of the wires in our circuit. We connect them using this thing called a breadboard. All this is a way of joining wires. This is one that I ripped the back off. If you look inside it, what's inside it is there's just a metal strip here, and then there are metal strips going across. So what these do is these ones that run along the length of the board, we use those to make our power rails. So there's the red plus one, we make a positive power rail that goes all the way down the board here, so we can get plus 5 volts from there. And then we make a negative power rail that goes all the way down the board, and we can get our 0 volts from there. So everything that's connected up, like the LED here, it's connected from plus 5 volts on the positive end, and then it goes through a circuit, and it's connected back to 0 volts, back to ground over here. Okay, and then the rows here, they are connected by these strips of metal underneath. So all the rows are doing is they're connecting wires together. So we'll use, if we put a wire in this row and we put another wire in this row, it'll join them together. And where we're joining wires is like where we're joining this line is a wire, and we're going to connect that to the positive side of the LED, which is the long leg on the LED, all right? The letters and the numbers on the breadboard, they don't matter. It's just a way of, you could use it to reference a place on the breadboard, but they don't actually, it doesn't matter what holes you put things in as long as you put them in the same row so they join together, or the same power rail so that they join together. All right, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some power to my board. So that where I'm going to get my power from is from the Arduino board. So if I zoom in here, over on the left side of the board, you can see I've got some power terminals over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ground. Now I've got a wire here. I could use red for 5 volts and black for ground, but the colors don't really matter, okay? So I'm going to take the third hole here. That's a ground, okay? I could use the second one as well, it doesn't matter. Third hole here, that's ground. And then I'm going to connect that to the negative power rail on my breadboard. So up here, negative power rail on my breadboard, okay? And then I'm going to get 5 volts. So that's the fourth hole up is 5 volts, okay? I could also get 3.3 volts. We'll generally use 5 volts in our circuits. So I'm going to use doesn't matter again what color, I use a green one because it's a little bit longer. So connect that into 5 volts. There we go, see, that was in 5 volts. And then that is going to go over to my plus on the breadboard. So now I'm going to refer to where the green wire is, that's the positive power rail. And then where the yellow wire is, that's the negative power rail. Okay, so now I've got my power. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect everything like in this circuit right here. So I'm going to go from the plus 5 volts power to the positive side of the LED, negative side of the LED to the resistor, back to ground. So here's how we do that. So I put my LED into the breadboard. Right, doesn't matter, again, doesn't matter which row, I'll just put it quite high up so I've got space. So look, the long leg, see the long leg is at the top of your picture. So the long leg, I'll poke that in that top row, okay, and then the short leg below it. Now I want to connect the positive side of the LED to the positive power rail. So I'll grab this wire, again, the color doesn't matter. So then I go from the positive power rail over to my positive leg of my LED, okay? And then I want the negative leg of the LED to go through a resistor and then to my ground, okay? So I'm gonna put a resistor. So this is a 220 ohm resistor. By the way, where is it? There it is, there it is. Okay, 220 ohm resistor. And then, because that has wire on the ends of it, I can actually go straight from the negative leg of my LED to the negative power rail. There we go, and it lights up, right? So what you should do now is you should repeat that at different points of the board. So I want you to, you've got an LED lit here, get one to light down here and up here and up here. So just repeat that. You can get a different color LED, okay, and just get some reps in doing that. So I've got the positive leg, I'll put the positive leg at the top just to stay consistent. And then I'm gonna connect from my positive power rail over to the positive long leg of the LED. And then I'm gonna get a resistor and I'm gonna connect from the short negative leg of the LED to my negative power rail. There we go. Sometimes with these breadboards, with some of them, there's a break in the middle of the power rail here. And so you'd have to actually connect the positive power rail up here to the positive power rail down here to make that connection. Okay, with this one, it's fine, it works. Now, go over the other side, do some on the top right and the top left. So if I put my LED, grab a different color, almost done here, folks. I'm gonna grab a green one, put the long leg at the top, all right, just to stay consistent. And then I'm gonna take a wire from the long leg over to my positive power rail, and then I'm gonna get a resistor. There we go, 220 ohm resistor. Go from the negative leg of the LED over to my negative power rail, or my ground power rail, sorry. And oh, whoopsie, it doesn't light. That's because the power rails down here, they're not connected to the power. So what I have to do is I have to go up. So either at the top or at the bottom of my board. I'll do it at the bottom so you can see it. I'll just bridge those power rails together. So I can go, if I go positive, over to the positive here. And now that positive rail is now connected to 5 volts from the Arduino. And then the ground or negative connected to the, oh, that's broken. Ground or negative connected to the ground or negative. And then, oh yeah, look at that, there it is. It's lit up. No, that's not that one. It's the one at the top right. There we go, that's lit up too, okay? So you try and get an LED, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, throw a few more in of different colors. All right, good job.